Eh, had no idea what I was going to say overall. When I start to think, what am I going to say? Then my mind thinks of a few things and covers it, but then, you know, that was just the, what am I going to say? And then, so without a plan, I just push that button. Hope your day's going well. Not sure what I was watching it on last night, but it caught my attention. They were covering the news. There were a group that were protesting something, and I'm not sure what that even was. I caught that limited of it. But what stuck out, there was some that were interviewed in the group. And, I'm the type of person lately, too, maybe always, if somebody's going to tell me something and they meant it, they said something and it meant it, and it's something that, well, that connects to me in a way. I'll try those shoes on and what's happening? What do you mean that? What's up with that? Because you can't always give a response, obviously, because you're just watching and you just caught it on the TV. I don't know if it's YouTube or TV. Seemed to me. Oh, yeah. So what he said was, we don't need individuals. We need groups that are doing something. And he was a little angry and stuff. Nothing wrong with anger. And it looked like he meant what he said. So if I were to get to respond to him, I would let him know that I'm a big proponent of groups. It's just I'm cautious of groupthink. And, so what I would say to him, hopefully he's a whole individual who can think for himself while he's amid that group that he's in. And he don't have to agree with everything in that group if the purpose suits what you're doing, then relax a little, enjoy life. You've found a purpose. You're here. You're on some march to protest something that you care about. Good for you. Those individuals that ain't standing by your side and they're talking to you like this, maybe they don't have that means, ability, or whatever, or the same drive. We're all individuals. It's important. So we need individuals who think for themselves, who would join a right group, a correct group, that allow you to think as an individual and to have an independent opinion, who don't mind knowing some new facts and are willing to hey, I just learned something. I got to change what I knew about that animal, fruit, bug, whatever, anything. Anyhow, but I had a lot of respect for him because this person meant what he said when he spoke, and that's a rare gift. So we need balance, especially nowadays, because I'm not one to remember movie titles and even remember a lot of movies and stuff. For whatever was in my life, be it pain levels to mind on other things, surviving and whatnot. Certain things like that didn't get in my recollection for some reason. Doesn't matter. We only know what we know. We're all different. We all have gifts and weaknesses. But one thing though, when I think about this, what's real prominent, a vision of movies, there has to be dozens of them where there's these heisters that are robbing this big safe, somewhere. And, you can see them there and they're like, try this and that and that. Nope, Whoa, how much time we got left? Keep trying. Keep trying. And they know they sounded some alarms, so they say, chaos is coming. We gotta do all we can do. And on the other side, when they get alarms, then they know chaos has ensued. So it's chaos upon chaos, But anyways, I thought of all those kinds of movie scenes just flashing, like stuff like that. Like some of those, really it's people with riding that devil energy, like the Old Testament God of the Bible. Yaldabaoth. That might be hard for many of you to hear, but I can only care so much on that. So I hope you can, expand your mind to at least consider words that are being said. But we see that kind of energy, for someone who would, I see it with the whole administration. It matches the Old Testament God of the Bible. Congratulations, they live up to that half of it. Yeah. That kind where, if you was counting that as something literal and real, then God was very jealous. He would demand loyalty to him to the extent of disobey, like step out of line, you do any kind of work on a Sunday and put him to death. This, that, and they couldn't be with other nationalities, groups, the Gentiles, And why? For their protection, their spirituality. Because why? They say that everyone else in the world is join the devil's side. When it gets hard to, when you can think critically on it. Yeah, it gets a little tough to. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Wouldn't think. Anyhow, that energy is pervading right now in its tactics, in the tactics of us here in the United States. You have those that are trying to crack all the safes they can, to drag all they can for a few, mainly selfishness. But let's not forget the jealousy of Yaldabaoth. Demanding loyalty, or there'll be the wrath of God. And blood will be spread from as far as the east to the west, and the river will run bloody red. All the spooky tactics from this written up God of the Bible. So when people started believing into that, it develops themselves wired that way, and that's the archetype or the eon or whatever that it relates to. And so what I see going on in this country, if you're not them, they would like to get rid of anyone of other colors and races and ideas. And I've watched a lot of debates on what Musk did on his Nazi salute, because when you look at all other ones, it's textbook. And then you see speeches where he's saying what races belong and who does not belong on the planet. And his grandparents were Nazis, so we've heard. But hey, right there with this U.S. seal right under him, what in the world? Donald Trump and cuddling up to that. And but the greatest heist, where facts aren't important. Goodness. Cut off all communications. That's that. We're going to distract and scare everyone for the heist. Chaos. I don't want anyone comfortable except us. So we can switch things to the ones that we trust that will serve. You know, that Yaldabaoth, he demanded someone to see if they were willing to kill their own son to test their loyalty to him. Okay, so you know, when it come to what Christ started to be put in there that he teaches, it probably came from the Roman influence from Rome, because Rome they had all the gods, and obviously we all know that, you know, they tried to embrace unity for everyone and embraced whatever they wanted to feel. Why? Because they knew it connected to the same source of creation and light that was not the written up version that created people to think that they can follow those made up rules and enforce everyone else on the planet to think the same way, or at least in their country. And so God of the Bible, Yaldabaoth, the demiurge, is linked to an example. If you want to see how that is, and it could go on and on about how this ties as a good example. And yet he's not a faithful Bible whatever. He used the Christian nationalist. They used him and he used them and neither one cared. They're getting their share. Anyways, we're getting a real good example of what that's about, and as sad as that is. However, I don't want to say, well, you know, those who actually follow what Christ, even if he didn't exist, the things written and prominently believed in that consciousness level is kind of so right on with what we know about life, period. So those who fight against it, now I'm sure, you know, you think of the automobile in the 70s, yep, rotor cap, distributor button, pretty simple, fairly easy to work on cars. And then it changed to these coil packs. Oh, well, it wasn't hard to learn that. They were improvements as technology has gone. When it went to computers, you know, some are just left there and they just, I love the old cars. I remember, because they were nostalgic, because they worked on them, and sometimes their shapes and stuff. We all have our opinions, and I like the old cars too, but compared to what they're making now, you know, it's kind of no comparison, actually. So, other than price. So, but I'm sure the ones who made distributor caps before it went to coil packs, with the computers actually, those who made carburetors sure didn't like it when fuel injection come along. They would have, but what extents would they do to stop progress? Did they merge and encompass a new way? Whatever, sure. Whatever. Just examples. That happens in the real world, so internally, we have to work our own self like you would see things that need to happen in certain ways in the real world. And to move along with progress, you need those who know what they're doing in places. It's proven, a little bit of looking around, and you can see that this administration is putting up they're trying to mix Hollywood with political issues for our betterment or our not so betterment. So they want this show. And what the heck Dr. Phil's doing running the, Chicago and what is, we're putting on a show, while speaking of cars then, back in my day, they would call it a lemon law, and you take on something and it's just, this ain't what we expected, Now they got warranties or whatnot. Maybe they still have a lemon law and you can just take it back. Because we've been taking back 2,000 and way beyond years at least in our leadership, technically. That could be spelled out, told out, easy to do. And anybody in this whole world should know that if somebody doesn't want facts or truth out, is hiding from the knowledge tree. Yeah, buddy. It was warm enough I'm gonna open doors, but I got my mold to start wiping up. Figured I'd talk to you guys before I did that, because it's better. It's better that way. I enjoy and appreciate who I listen to, and trying to help others see this. It's gone on long enough. Sometimes with the trickery things, the world really would go better if we all could just, hey, it ain't gonna be easy. We'll have ideas that clash, but how about we really lay it out without it's probably just about the money. The greediest for that money will hide truths. I guess that's probably went on forever. Big surprise. Anyways. Still an exciting time to be alive and see all this strangeness. There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Bing! Always gotta try that note. Well, I suppose I'll let it go right there. But I do appreciate those that I got to hear, and can't get to all of them that I'd like to. I'll circulate here and there. And again, it's nice because of the structure of the type of info. There's still some tactics on, like I said earlier, we're all individuals. And I'm not asking anybody to do anything other than what they do, because we all bring different gifts and things to the table. If there's ever refining in the future, that could be in the future on anyone's thoughts and stuff, because we're all learning that, as we learn, we'll learn, That doesn't mean those who actually want to try to help teach shouldn't try to teach, but yeah, maybe the teaching stuff's a waste, but I see it, I get it, and I still learning when I hear older songs that I never understood before. That was me. And some I do, and some I don't, some I did, and some I won't. And the good thing is it don't really matter. Can't be anywhere other or anything other than what I'm doing lately. I don't want to be. Nah, I don't want to try it. Anyhow. It's still good to be alive. I've had things happen and I thought I said my goodbyes. I thought I was not going to get to breathe again or open my eyes back up or sight or whatever. It was a blackout. So anyways, I said my goodbyes and got to come back, and that's really many years ago, and it gives you a different appreciation on life and a different understanding of, especially after, you learn a lot. You learn a lot soon as somebody hears something that ain't in line with their own little limited thought process or beliefs. Yeah. So yeah, I hold a heavy frustration at what I'm seeing. I hold lots of predictions myself, but those aren't worth always saying, because sometimes words shouldn't be just played with. And it's important for that going in our future, especially because you see the ones trying to hide anything logic by lie. And this is just knowledge. This is just good old knowledge that the Old Testament God of the Bible is definitely in groupthink, right? Oh God, tell me, who to hate? Tell me who to hate. Do I go hate all the Gentiles? Do I hate anyone who, they cuss, they swear? I'll hate them. Yep, those writings told you that. What else did they put in there? It could go on, and I don't think people's going to put up with your hate. You need to see it in both directions. There's two sides of every coin. So, not that anybody's done that to me lately. I don't talk to anyone hardly face to face like something like this, though I'm willing, and I'm as meek as ever overall. But try to be whatever I need to be. Yeah. That's how we were all taught. And I'll rise up. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up. In spite of the ache. Wow, I've used up 24 minutes of your life or so if you've heard it. So I hope you enjoyed it, and for whatever that's worth. But anyways, if you listen, care about you a lot. I say these things with love in mind and not with proving anyone's right or wrong. I'm at zero on everything, and all of this is, we only know what we know. Math never lies. So everything else you have to judge by the fruits that you see, right? So have a good one.